Hello viewers, I am Major General Neelendra Kumar for the YouTube channel Lex Consilium Foundation in conversation with soon going to be 95 General VN Sharma, who was Indian Army's 14th Chief of Army Staff. In the previous video, he had shared his impression of General Arun Vaidya, who was his predecessor in that big chair of Army Chief in the South Bloc. Sir, in continuation, you had mentioned towards the end that General Vaidya, when he took over, you were in the Military Operations Directorate. Now, I would like to continue from there, that a couple of years down the line was Indian Army's famous Operation Blue Star in the Golden Temple. Now, how do you view that operation, which was sensitive and perhaps had left Army with no other option, or the Prime Minister with no other option? But that may be the perception. How do you see it, sir?
That's a long story.
Sir, whatever you want to tell the viewers, sir.
When in the Operations Directorate, General Vaidya came and met us, sir, and said that he has been instructed by the Prime Minister to take the army into the Golden Temple to remove so-called Sant Bindranewale, who had taken over the temple and he was a power unto himself, ordering everybody around in Punjab. Indira Gandhi, as you know, when she was Prime Minister, wanted all states of the Indian Union to be Congress states. Yes. She had said that I find it difficult to rule if I have opposition parties in Congress states. So at the time, the government of Punjab was an Akali government.
Yes.
And my impression, as far as I could see, was that she wanted to position Bindranewale into the Golden Temple and give extrajudicial orders so that she could get the opportunity of sacking the Punjab government.
Okay.
This was the aim, to make it a Congress government. She's done that before. I can give you other examples. So Arun Vaidya was called to the Prime Minister's office. He said, Bindranewale is getting too big for his boots. He doesn't listen to anyone. He has to be removed to take the army in. So General Vaidya said, okay, and he came. Now the first person to order is the MO, because we gave orders as to which formation they have to do what. So he arrived in the MO Directorate and all of us were there. And he spoke particularly to General Samana and myself. General Samana was the boss, I was number 2. And also Tabi Nair, Major General Tabi Nair, who was ex-signal, then joined the Barracks. He was in charge of the operations side. Yes. I was in charge of the rest of the organization of MO Directorate. Yes. So he had MO 1, 2 and 3, which is the operations side, and I had 4 to 8.
Yes.
The rest of this.
DGMOB, sir.
DGMOB.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So he asked only Tabi Nair and myself and Samana to be present, and he spoke to us that this is to be done and this has to be organized. So we suggested to him that that is not a correct employment of the Indian Army. We explained that according to the Constitution, the Indian Army cannot be used for political purposes.
Yes.
By any government. So, if she wants to remove Bindranewale, whom she has established in Amritsar, politically, to remove the Akali government, and now he is gone too big for his boots and not listening to her, and she wants him removed. And earlier than this, the Punjab police has acted, maybe a year earlier, the Punjab police had acted against Bindranewale because they had a DIG called DIG Atwal, who came outside the Golden Temple gates and demanded that so-and-so criminals which are hiding inside be handed over to me outside here.
Yes.
That's the way the police functions.
Yes.
And one of the terrorists from the Golden Temple shot him dead.
Yes.
After which the Punjab police, armed police, decided to act against Bindranewale and the Golden Temple. When Indira Gandhi came to know, she stopped them. She said, you don't do that. This is a political problem. Don't intervene. So the Punjab police said, all right, since you got it, we will not intervene.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Now a year later, when she wanted Bindranwale removed, she asked the Punjab police, now you're going to take him. They said, sorry, when we were to take him out, when Atwal was killed, you refused to let us. Now we will not bother.
They declined?
They declined.
Sir.
Rightly so, of course. You police chaps also have to have the guts to see that the politics should not intervene in their normal duty, right? Where that goes, we don't know in this country, but even now, you will notice there's a lot of political interference in police action. So, she wanted the army to go in, because the police had refused.
Yes.
So, she told General Vaidya. Now, we told Vaidya that that is not politically expedient, because we cannot use the military for political purposes. She did a political stunt to put Bindranwale there. Now she's doing another political stunt to remove him by force, using the army since the police is refused. She's got plenty of police battalions. She's not only Punjab police, there's so many other battalions. There's CRPF, there's BSF. So we should not intervene. So he said, but he's the boss, and when the boss says you jump, we have to jump. We said, no, you're a constitutional authority, the army chief. You have to ensure that the constitution is not violated. One option is to go to the Supreme Court and ask them their view as to whether this is legal or not legal. Yes? He said, what do you expect me to do? He said, we suggest that you go back to her and tell her not an army job.
So that was the MO's advice, that the decision needed to be reconsidered.
Yes, by the Prime Minister.
By the Prime Minister.
So we went back to her.
We went back?
Yes.
Okay.
He said, this is my MO director's view, and she said, well, I made you the army chief, you can't support your Prime Minister's orders. See? So, let me talk to somebody who's going to do it. Who's the Western Army commander? He said, Western Army commander is Sundarji.
Yes.
She said, you send him to me, I'll give him the orders since you don't have the guts to support me. So, Vaidya, his office rang up Sundarji to go see the chief, the Prime Minister. He came back to MO Director and told us that this has happened. So we said, sir, maaf karo, you have no business to allow an army commander to talk directly to the
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister. See? So we are in touch with the staff of the Prime Minister from military operations. We are in touch with everybody, right? So we asked the local staff officers there, "Bhai, kya hua?" They said, well, Sundarji came, and apparently, of course, she talked to him alone. But the word got out with the other staff officers of the Prime Minister, the PAs and this, that, and the other. Apparently, he said, what's in it for me? She said, I'll make you the next army chief. So he agreed to take on the job.
In the normal course, he was not going to succeed Vaidya?
No, he was the senior most, but it's not necessary that the senior most is going to be the next chief.
Right.
It's up to the government to select anyone to be the next chief, isn't it? It's
so
not necessary.
The orders to GOC&C Western Command were given directly by the Prime Minister.
She went and talked to him.
Yes.
He gave orders to his command. So when he came out from there, we rang him up.
Yes.
To say that you may like to step into MO Directorate and discuss this issue with us as to how you're going to proceed. He said, I'm not interested in new people. I've got my orders and I'm going to do it. He's an army commander. He doesn't
so his decision, say for example, to use Bulbul Brar was his own sort of, not through the MO.
No. Bulbul Brar was 9 division in Meerut.
Sir.
He first selected 15 division, which is in Khasa, beyond Amritsar.
Yes.
The GOC there was a chap called Jambal.
Jambal, sir.
Yeah. Not Anup Jambal, not
not KS.
Not KS Jambal, this is another Jambal.
Yes.
Jambals are Jambals.
Yes.
They are very good soldiers, let me tell you. He was commanding, I know him, I talked to him later. He was commanding 15 division. So Sundarji asked him to produce the battalion of infantry and some support from tanks or something to take on this job. He refused. He said it's not, it's a political situation and it's not for the army to get intervened.
So to use the 9 Div was the next option?
9 Div was in Meerut.
Sir.
It's a reserve division of Western Command. He told Bulbul Brar, and another reason why he chose Bulbul Brar that he wanted Sikhs there. Bulbul Brar is a Sardarji who's shaven.
Yes.
Right? And his chief of staff was the famous Haji Pir Pas conqueror, क्या नाम है, Ranjit Dayal.
Sir, RS Dayal, yes sir.
Yes, Ranjit Singh Dayal of the Parachute Regiment,
yes sir.
A personal friend of mine, because we studied for Staff College together.
Yes.
Right? And we both got through to the same course.
Okay.
We did the same course. And then when he was BGS of one corps, the corps commander rang me up, you know Ranjit very well, we are going to get this bachelor fellow married off. And we married him off, and I went for that wedding, married him off to the widow of an Air Force officer, very nice lady.
Yes, sir.
And we married him off so that he could have a better social life.
Yes.
You see? So we know Ranjit Dayal.
He retired as a Southern Army commander, sir.
Yeah, but
Yes,
he
later.
was chief of staff of Sundarji when
Yes.
Sundarji was Western Army commander, and he made him in charge of the operations. So they were all Sardarjis. Ranjit Dayal,
Yes,
Bulbul
Bulbul
Badar,
Badar.
you see. Then they selected the Commando Battalion to attack was the first para commando, that is the Sikh battalion. See? The
But
first-
it is commonly believed that all the Sikh officers had been given the option to opt out in
That-
case,
I don't know that.
sir.
But he selected Sikh officer because according to Sundarji, Sundarji is from South India, he is from Madras. He has no idea of the, pardon my saying so, he is a previous chief and my senior, but my view was that he
sir.
has no idea.
Now, sir, there are two aspects. One aspect is, as you indicated, that the government's decision to use the army. The other aspect is that the way army proceeded in the matter. What do you think of that, sir?
That's exactly what I am talking about.
Yes, sir.
He wanted to use a Sikh battalion of commandos
Yes,
to do
sir.
the attack.
Sir.
And our suggestion to him was, don't use the Sikhs.
Okay.
But his point was that it's the Golden Temple and the Sikhs must do the job against the Sikhs. Indian troops are all loyal, religion comes second. But we told him, you have very little idea of Punjab and its ethos.
Sir.
The Sikhs are very good soldiers. Why are you bringing them into such a test where you have to fight against a so-called Sant? See,
Yes.
that is our view. So he insisted, because Sundarji is Sundarji. He makes a decision and you can't change it.
Now, this would be the one solitary incident of India's military post-independence, where certain commanders had declined an order. Like you said that the Div Commander 15 Div, he did not want to do it, or the army chief was against this, and yet it was done. Do you recollect any parallel to this sort of a
Do
thing?
you recollect any parallel where it's not happened? Look, we are not students of history,
Sir.
of what happened in the past, but I must tell you something about the Indian Army. The Indian Army officers' training when you're in command is to be an independent commander. You find something wrong, you don't do it.
Yes.
It's not a question of disobedience of orders. It's a question of those who wish to obey orders despite their better sense. They obey orders because they are yes men and they want their promotion.
This is something, sir, very significant coming as it does from you.
No, I'll
And
just say
the-
something to you.
Yes.
There are
That we are only obliged to obey a lawful command.
exactly
Yes.
the word I have used to so many people. The lawful command of a superior officer is by Army Act to be obeyed. But is the command lawful? Question.
Yes.
Is the command lawful that you as a politician, chief, prime minister, have put a terrorist in charge of the Golden Temple to demote the government of Akalis, all right, by unfair means,
Yes.
shall I call it, and now that he's become the boss there, you are using the military since the police has refused you.
Yes.
Is that lawful?
Yes, sir.
So therefore,
Sir.
you and I are not capable of understanding what is lawful and not lawful, but we have our intrinsic duty to do what we think is lawful.
Yes. Quite right.
I don't
sir.
have to be a
Yes,
lawyer. I mean,
sir.
even Ministry of Defence, those are other stories. Kisi Pant asked me, are you a lawyer that you know what is lawful? I said, I know my conscience. My conscience has to accept your order, otherwise I will not accept it. See?
This is something very interesting, but sir, one part of this is still remaining. You brought out the manner in which General Vaidya was called. Then you have spoken about the army commander's decision to use the Sikh troops. Now I come to the last aspect of Blue Star. that could this operation have been done causing less damage to the Golden Temple and perhaps less casualties? That aspect, what are your views? So since you were in MO and you would have surely thought about it.
See, I'm not here.
Could the damage have been reduced?
Let me answer your question.
Sure.
I am not here to question a commander in the field.
Sure.
The commander in the field is the boss. He can do whatever he thinks is correct.
Sure.
Right? We people afterwards discuss 101 things. It's after the event.
Sure.
We are not exposed to the pressures and changes that are facing that commander when he makes a decision.
Sure.
If you feel a commander has made a wrong decision, you can sack him. See it. Like you notice in the British Army, all the previous commanders, first few commanders, generals have been sacked, both in World War I and World War II.
Yes.
It is only the second rung of commanders who managed to function according to what the politics was. After all, the military is only an arm of politics, right? So now the question is the politics lawful? So therefore, there are a large amount of political orders which are totally unlawful.
Sure.
When it is unlawful, you can ask them to give you the order in writing. Many governments are afraid to give it in writing, because if you give it in writing, then it's a court case. So therefore, what you have to understand is that a commander who becomes a commander with any guts should not be worried about his personal advancement. He should be worried about the correctness of his actions, according to the Constitution of India. So therefore, is it constitutionally correct to remove an Akali government by false means like that? Come on. So therefore, I am not going to further argue this. There are various views on the subject. The GOC of 15 days refused to accept because he said it's an illegal command.
Yes.
All right. Compliments to him. He never got any further promotion. He was given a bad report. He retired and went home. See, I refused it when I was the Eastern Army commander. I could have been thrown out and I would have retired and gone home happily. But as luck would have it, I wasn't thrown out. No. Now, therefore, constitutionally what is correct or not is only answerable by Supreme Court. Even they make mistakes sometimes, right? And they have review petitions. But the fact is that any order given by the government has to be in writing, but the government will never give you an order in writing. It is always verbal. Because many times they say, we didn't tell you that.
This is very interesting, and this video would be viewed by the audience, by the senior officers, by those interested in military affairs. Be with us. This conversation would continue.